The biggest mistake I see photographers making in their marketing is misunderstanding the difference between social media, websites, and portfolios. All three are equally important, but they are very different things and only work when utilised in certain ways. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what each one is, how to do it, and at the end of the video, I'm going to show you my entire portfolio as it stands right now. Now, this video is only made possible by today's sponsor, Gridsy, but there'll be more on them later in the video. So let's look at three different things. We're going to look at social media first, then website, and then portfolio. Social media, for photographers, it tends to fall into two different platforms, LinkedIn and Instagram. They are both incredibly useful. I have kind of slept on LinkedIn for a little bit too long. I understand its potential. I've just not got round to doing it. So do as I say, not as I do. But this is what social media is for. Social media is the candid window into you as a person. And it is the daily reminder that you exist. We use social media in a way that goes, look, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. You want to gain followers, not in the number of followers, but in the type of follower. You want as many people who are your potential client to be following you as possible. Then, as I often say on here, every time they're having a bathroom break, and maybe it's a longer bathroom break than just a short one, they'll be scrolling on their phone and your name will keep popping up. It is highly unlikely that an Instagram post will get you a job, but it is highly likely that if every day you're posting to your stories, and 2-3 times a week you're posting to your grid, and these clients are seeing you all the time, that you will be top of the list when the job that suits you comes in. It costs you nothing but time. It's very easy to do. Everyone's like, I don't know what to do on my stories, I've got nothing going on. Photograph your laptop, let's go working on some emails. Share some old behind the scenes stuff, share some old work. Don't feel that every grid post on Instagram has to be a new photograph. I rehash old work all the time when I have nothing to share. Just share something. Just remind people you exist. Next up is your website. Your website is the authoritative phase of your marketing. This is going, look, I'm so legit. I don't just have an Instagram page, or if you've got a Facebook page, even worse, but I don't just have one of these. I have a real website. And it's not got the free bit in the middle which says I've not paid for it. I'm serious about this. I have a website and an email address to match that domain. Now, when you're really big time, you can have, for example, for me, it'd be scott@gmail.com. But you know, for me, my email address is a professional one because I'm not that big time. So having that email address and that website is very important. This is the deep dive. This is not your daily reminder. This is not, look, hey, here I am. This is the deep dive into your work. This is where people come to confirm that you are the person they want. This is where you really elaborate on your work. And there is a formula to a website that I have built that works really well. I often say, please don't copy people, but if you want to copy something, copy my website design. Years of research have gone into the way it's laid out. Yes, it may not be perfect in the web designing community, but in terms of getting people to book me, it works really well. And that's not my tin house studio, that's my scottchesino.com. I've really got to start pronouncing my name properly. It's scottchesino.com, but I say Chesino because I anglicise it. Always have done, don't know why. I'm sure you can pronounce either. They're both a bit tricky. Now, today's sponsor, coincidentally, allows you to create my website very easily. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to explain to you why it's very important. This is a high-performance, lightweight grid gallery plugin that looks great straight out of the box. It is super simple, so unlike me, who has to get a web designer every time he wants to do something, this means you can do it yourself. There are two popular layouts listed here, which is Justified and Waterfall. For me personally, I think Justified is the way you want to go. It is definitely the way that I like to go with my website. I just like everything being neat and tidy. Now, if you head down here, you can click between the two to see what they're going to look like. And as you see, I don't know why, but Justified just works for me. I like a full width gallery because more photos equals better. The way you want to make your website look is that in a glance, so say that you're landing on this page here, you can see exactly what you're about. They can see exactly what it is you do. They don't have to click and scroll through hundreds of photographs. Now, what I would like to do is make these a bit bigger because big is good. So down here, you'll see you have the option to use either a WordPress plugin or a JavaScript library. Me being not very techie, I tend to go for the WordPress plugin. And if you head over here, you can see it's a one-time payment, so no monthly billing. Yes, I'm aware I've recently launched a monthly billing platform, and yes, I do hate myself slightly for that, but here you don't have to worry about that. You can get 10% off the Pro and Pro Plus and 33% off for a limited time on the agency version. So your website really is that deep, informative face. It's where you can tell people who you are with your about section. It's where you can have a blog, which a lot of photographers make this mistake. They write photography blogs. Remember, you're writing for your clients. I call it news, and I put my news shoots in the news bit. I'm awful at updating it. And yet again, do as I say, not as I do. When I've got less going on, I do more updating of the website. When I'm busy, it kind of falls by the wayside. If you're like me, do not have dates next to your blog. It's a nightmare. And of course, you have your contact page. A lot of people, well, I always assume if a contact comes in through Instagram, it's not serious. If it comes in through my email address, it's maybe serious. And if it goes straight to my agent, it's definitely serious. And it's a good way to sift through people. But this is huge. This is generic. This is all over the place. This is not a portfolio, not at all. It's 100% not your portfolio. They are portfolios in a sense, in that I have a food, a drink, a portrait. You know, they kind of, they're bodies of work, but they're not portfolios. And this is where everybody gets it wrong. Your portfolio is your most important piece of marketing. It's your most important bit of work. My portfolio that I'm going to show you in a minute is never final. I mean, my website's never final. I'm always updating that. But when I say it's never final, we change it for every single meeting. We change it for every single viewing. A portfolio is your curation of work to show a potential client exactly what it is you do that they will want. It is not, here is all my best photos. It is, here are the photos that fix your problem. Here are the images I've curated for you. Now, I'm literally going to a portfolio meeting tomorrow. I can't tell you who it's with, but what I can do is show you the portfolio that Karen and I curated for this meeting. Let's dive onto the computer and let me talk you through it. So this is me showing somebody who happens to have a brand that is very colourful, exactly what it is we're doing. Now, this is kind of a generic portfolio. It's very much a web, and I know a lot of people are going, oh, the image quality is awful. It doesn't matter. It's going to be shown on an iPad. We're currently looking on a ridiculous monitor, but this will be on a tiny iPad. It doesn't pixelate at all on there. But this is me going through it in a color thing, and it's me going, look, these are the same. These are the same. I can shoot things differently in the same style. I can shoot different subjects in the same style. I can shoot the same style for different subjects. I can switch it up however I want. Now, my work looks different. I love this duo, by the way. This is one of my favorites. My work looks different all the time. Depending on how it's curated, depending on what I've pulled into the portfolio, it's always different. But this is a portfolio. And we've basically used color here as the theme to link things together. But it shows quite a wide variety of my work because the client in question actually deals with quite a few brands. But the style of work the agency produces is actually very similar to mine, which I hope I'm not giving away too much there. I'm sure someone will be able to work out who the agency is. But it's a very big agency and their work's a lot like mine. And I'm trying to go, look, I can service most of your clients in this one style. I've got that work. I mean, a lot of this work you may have never seen before. Some of it's never been shown before because some of it we only pull out for a portfolio. It may not be my best work. This picture of flowers on the left is not my best work, but is the best photograph to go here. And that's really important to understand. A portfolio is not your best work. It's a curation of work that answers a question. So to somewhat summarize, social media is your, hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Look at me. Your website is your point of authority and the deep dive into who you are as a photographer. And your portfolio, that's the personalized curation of work to specifically show to a specific person for a specific reason. 3 very different things, all using the same images, but very important that you understand the significance of each.